Well, a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Tenant Farmer. My name, as always, is David. Hope you're doing very well. And look, we're in a blue tractor this time around. The demonstrators keep on coming today, courtesy of our local New Holland dealer. This is, I believe it's a T6125 or thereabouts. Maybe 155. I'll have to have a look. But it's big. It's a lot bigger than the other tractors. It feels just a lot bigger, but we're gonna have a go. It's about the same size horsepower as the Valtra, and yeah, we'll see what it looks like for us, really, how much we can get done with it. We just come back from carting another load of produce away from the greenhouses. We're gonna go and take this back. We're gonna drop off the trailer, and then we've got a bit of field work to do today, actually, which I'm looking forward to. There's a lot to do. We've been talking about it for a while, and we're going to get stuck on into it now, which would be fantastic to see. So, lots happening, really. And, yeah, so far, I don't mind this bit of New Holland blue. It's not too bad at all. We're still trying a whole load of everything, really. We're seeing what we're looking at and talking to dealers about what options they have. Do they have used machines of a fairly youngish age? You know, and what the cost would look like for upgrading there. Obviously now we'd have to trade in our if we were to get rid of our loader tractor, we'd have to be trading that in to pick up a new one, use that as a deposit towards a new one there, and then, you know, we're looking at the financing on the back of that. So it's something that we'll continue to look at for sure, and this is a great opportunity to do it. So we've also actually been doing a bit of hiring and a bit of borrowing of all sorts today. We've hired a muck spreader, which is on the back of my big Massey. And then we've been borrowing a tool from a local neighbor as well. A new bit of kit to him, really, there, which is looking pretty good. We're just going to stick this trailer here right now for a bit of simplicity. Let's just leave you about here. There you go. Yeah, it is a 125. Perfect. I do believe this is a 6-cylinder. It's a slightly bigger chassis than the G series that we were looking at there. Similar to the Kubota. It's a little bit more, I want to say a little bit more agile than the Kubota that we tried, but it's not doing too bad. And yeah, we're just going to try and put some to use. We're going to actually use this to do a little bit of muck carting or loading of muck, and we'll see how we get on. But what I need to do first of all is just come into here. I have my nephew driving my loader tractor for me today, and why he's done that, just left the, I didn't take the bucket off, but why he kept it there, I don't know. But we'll see. We're going to pick this up, and then what we'll do is we're going to take the first load of muck from our store here, and then we're going to go up to the field, and we'll start up there and then come back and get the New Holland as well, I think. There you go. But okay, so plenty of muck to spread. Plenty of field to spread it on as well. We haven't been able to get any lime in time, so we might have to come back and do that in the summer or before we put any winter cropping in. Obviously, we'll see how that goes, but that could be the next step there for sure. But now a bit of organic fertilizer on here is always a good start. Okay, and we're just going to spin it around into this Abbey spreader. It's not the biggest spreader ever. You could get a rear discharge one, but it's big enough for what we're doing. We're only doing the one field, so it makes it's more than adequate. Perfect. Excellent. And again, with most of the loader tractors we've been demoing, great visibility, panoramic rooftop there as well. Lots of good viewing angles as we get through here. We don't have the fifth pillar in there, so just a 4-pillar cab, nice and visible. Large doors though, that's one thing I'm always curious about with a loader tractor there. But we'll have to see how that goes. I like this tractor. The dashboard here seems to be a little bit more simplistic there. Everything's like all the buttons are down here, and then obviously we've got this big display. This is obviously the more top of the range, which is great, but then it's a little, I'm not sure if I want that big window there or that big display there when I am in a loader tractor, but maybe that's the way all new machines are going these days, and we'll have to see. Loader's very responsive on this, though, I must say. Oh, there's a good look. I try not to run over that grate there. That could cause bad news. We did get the rest of that bale silent sold off there as well, which brought in a little bit of money, and we're starting to see some really good profit from the greenhouses, which are good considering that was just a lot of hard work and spare lumber, really. All of which means that we have our initial payment sorted out for there's new bit of equipment that we're going to be buying. So we'll see. We'll hopefully get hold of that before. Well, we need to get hold of it before we start to do too much grass work. But yeah, that will be a project for later on down the line, and we'll see what it looks like in terms of which tractor loader combination we'll have to go with it. But again, we're not pushing for anything just yet. It's nice to have 3 different loaders or dealerships in the area. We've tried the Voucher, we've tried New Holland now, and of course Kubota. Kubota kind of kick-started it all off really for us here. And yeah, I'm open to suggestions. Now, the next nearest really, we do have Massey, of course, and we'll see what that looks like. But after that, John Deere, there's nothing really in the immediate area for us. A lot of the bigger farms around here don't use them because of that exact reason. You know, one of the main things you need to look for is always going to be your dealership support. So we just don't have that. So yeah, we'll have to see. Now, what I think we'll do is just stick this load in, and then we'll go empty it. There's not a full load there, but it's a good start. We'll go and see how we get on there. We'll go and check in on nephew, see how the youth is doing, and then get a bit of muck spread behind them. Lovely colour scheme on the loader here as well, I must say. I do like that an awful lot. But yeah, tidy little tractor, that one. Extra wheel weights on the back of it for the loader work. It's spec'd out for this, so it's looking good. Our Massey's starting to get a bit of work here, which is fantastic. Good to see. Mist not been on here recently, and we will get ourselves away. We're going to take the road. Go over to our field on the road, less traveled of course, and then we'll see how we get on. This should be pretty good. Left the youth to his own devices. I got him set up there this morning. He's actually, well, I'll show you what he's doing when we get over there, but he is doing a nice little simple bit of prep work for us, so it should be good. We're borrowing a set of rollers really from a neighbor. New to him, I think, is what I'm led to believe. And they seem to be working very well. So, and I'll tell you more about that when we get over to where we need to be. So as you'll see, all the bales have gone. We're surging up the hill. We're going to go up to the track along the top there. So we're out in the field that we drilled the cover crop into last year. And it is, given that we're getting close to drilling time, we're in early February now. So what the plan is to take advantage of the frost that we've had here. We're currently just crimping and mulching over that cover crop. We're putting a bit of muck on at the same time so that we can eventually let that all rot in together to give a nice new layer of organic matter on the surface. And then we'll give it a quick tickle over with something before we come to drill it in the spring. And that would be the plan. But to do that, we needed to get a roller or something that would crimp over this cover crop, and we found one from a neighbor. So he picked up a rather new looking set actually. It's looking very, very good, and it is a Dalbo roller. All that's doing really, as you can start to see as we're getting closer, is just snapping over the cover crop really. Underneath it was direct drilled into the stubble, so we've still got the stubble there from last year. And yeah, like I say, all it's doing is taking advantage of the frost as well, because it's made the cover crops a little bit more brittle, and it should hopefully be doing a stellar job of just smashing it over and making it that little bit more easy to digest and to break down and to decompose. And as you can see, we did the first couple of headlands together, and then let my nephew take over there, because we just need to get as much of this done whilst the weather is good, whilst we can travel easily. So that's exactly what we're doing. It's still a bit frozen, a bit frost on the ground there, which makes this an ideal time to do it. He's out in my loader tractor. It's getting some work done, work in on it. It's just pulling a roller along, so it's fine. But we'll have a look, see how he's getting on anyway. And then my muck keeper's over there somewhere, and that's what we're going to be looking into and trying to get cracking along with. So we'll just wait for him to get a little bit closer here. All right, so whilst I'm waiting there, I got my GPS roughly set up, I think, and we're just going to make a start. Yeah, as you can see, it's smashing it all over there, bending it all over and killing off the crop there, so that all of this green fodder can just get worked on in. And he's able to actually book it along there, which is rather good. And look at the difference. And then we're going to, like I say, put this muck on top of it, and then this can just start to rot away, get a little bit of heat into the surface there as the ground temperature warms up. And then I'm not sure quite how we'll do it, because we're trying to reduce down the amount of disturbance on these fields, but we'll try and just work that in a little bit. Maybe with just, by the time you come to drill it, maybe just with a tine harrow or something might be good enough just to work that over, and we shall see. But yeah, it's coming along, looking very, very nice indeed. Now on to the, well, I guess the fun bit really. Let's see how we get going with this. GPS should be set up there. I think everything else is looking as good as it's gonna be. There you go. Let's just see which line it decides to pick here. Are we squaring up? We are. And then let's just put that down there. Not a full load, so we can do that. It's fine. And away we go. Still trying to figure itself out there. Get on over. Well, a little bit of a complication at the start with. I think I wanted to choose a different line, but the GPS line is working now. A little bit rusty with the old system there, but we're going. And boy, how are we going. Look at that spreader fly. Getting a little fairly decent coverage there. Looks like it's coming down nice and fine, actually. It's been rotting away in that heap there for a while as well, because we just couldn't travel onto the ground here as much as I would hope. So I would say that's coming through quite nicely indeed. It's going to take quite a while to get this field done. Fortunately, when the youth is finished there, he can jump on into one of these machines, probably into this one after driving New Holland, I reckon, and we'll see. We're gonna, when this is empty, the spread is empty, we're just going to continue here and work down through that heap and try and get that side of the field done, I reckon. And that is the plan, just to see how we get on, and we should hopefully see this all looking good. I'm curious to see how the New Holland will handle just pushing into a muck heap. Well, that's where you want to, kind of where we want to try it with the loader work today. And we'll see. Turn off my lights there. And yeah, we'll try it out, a few different bits and pieces here, and I'm looking forward to see how this field works out, really. A lot of thought and time gone into it, so it'll be very, very interesting to see how this impacts the ground moving forward. We will be putting spring barley into here, and hopefully we'll get a good window to establish it in the early spring. All right, so let's just stop there, see if how it's coming down. I'm very happy with that indeed, actually. It's looking very, very good. It's still got a bit left in there, so it's coming out quite fine. We should hopefully rot in there quite nicely. So I think what we'll do is we'll just take a little bit of a pass up here, actually. And we're away again. Fantastic stuff. Good day for it. Beautiful day out there, actually. Looking fantastic. It really does look golden, so hopefully that can continue as well. And we'll see. We'll just see how we get through today. We should go looking at how we're booking along there. Maybe another couple of hours will get that rolling done. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. The one thing I'm curious to see how we can impact here is the weed control, is to see exactly what that looks like in terms of our ability to actually harness that. Because ideally we're going to try and transfer away from putting any herbicides, pesticides onto here. So that's going to be the big challenge. But a challenge that should be good nonetheless. There's still a good bit of steam coming off here, which is good. Shows that this has been heating up nicely there. And yeah, we'll just continue to slowly work our way in on this block here. And I think we should be looking really... I'm actually really surprised how far this is one load's getting us here. That fills me with a bit more confidence. And we actually rented this muck spreader from our local grain co-op, which is not too far away. They do a few things like this in vacuum tankers. Obviously we don't need one of those, but it allows us to not have to splash out on our own, or even you know, maybe let's just try and get away from that water stream. Actually, put too far over towards that, and yeah, like I say, it just allows us to be able to focus on what we need to here, put those investments into the right areas. Okay, I'm just gonna square this end up here, and then we'll go and fill up. All right then. So I will go and park this up. We'll go and bring over the New Holland, and then we'll have a second blast at this, I think, and see how we get on. But busy day ahead of us to get through all this heap. Quite a large amount stacked up here, actually. So let's get cracking. Now we're just gonna scoot this one through the pasture field here, I think. Just have a bit of a drive through. Everything's looking good in here anyway. This will be like I think I mentioned in the past, this will be one of our hay pastures for the upcoming summer. Be interesting to see how that looks with a bit of we've had one passing of fertilizer on here, so stick another one there. Be interesting to see what that looks like. Throughout the course of the winter here, our wild bird feed plot did great guns for the local inhabitants, so that's been fantastic. I think we will just beetle up the side of it now, actually. And let's go big. As you can see, still a few seeds hanging around there. That will be topped down eventually, but for right now it's still doing us really, really well, so I'm happy with how that's done. We might look to keep it in there actually next year and see how it's going. But yeah, that has been a raging success. This is a smooth cab actually. Air seat, air suspension on the cab there as well. I am currently horsed along about 33k, I think that is. Feels like child's play. No, absolutely love it. Awesome. All right. And let's just go and get started, I think. So what we will look to do as well, we've already we took soil samples from this field last summer. What we'll probably look to do, just for my own interest, is to take some again at the end of this summer once we've harvested this field there, and just see what the difference is in the nutritional content with this process, with the organic matter, with the cover crop there, just to see how it's worked out, and the reduction of man-made fertilizers that we're having to stick into it, because I think that will be really interesting to see. So we'll have a bit of a dive in with that. Okay, so quite a bit of heap to go out here. We'll just have to keep chugging through it all. My depth perception isn't quite right here, really. I think that's something I've noticed. Different type of loader, different size of tractor as well. So that's one thing that's taken a little bit of time to really dial in on. But I guess we can get used to that over time. And also our joystick for our loader controls is this little one here. It's got a nice little ergonomic rest on it. It doesn't feel quite as heavy as some of the other ones that we've used, mainly the Kubota one there, or indeed my own Massey loader, but it does a grand job nonetheless. You can obviously also, if you took the front loader off there, that can just be the spool valves for the front linkage. There you go. All right, and we will get this filled up, and then away we go again, really. We'll probably come back and show you the other half of this as we're finishing it off. Maybe you'll see a bit of tail end of this in the next video, and we'll try to find something else to do with this New Holland. Loader work though, seems pretty handy, pretty swift, pretty powerful. It's only 125 horsepower, so it's a little bigger than my loader tractor. That's probably around about the size we want. Whether or not we want to go this big of a machine, because around my yard that might be a little bit too big, but it's something to think about anyway. There is a slightly smaller version that we could always look into should we need to, and we'll see where that goes and what that looks like. Let me know your thoughts on this New Holland, the T6125 there, and all the other tractors that we've tried so far. And we will, yeah, see where this journey takes us. For right now, it's going to take us to the back end of this muck heap. And we'll keep going. Until next time, though, I hope you have enjoyed. If you haven't yet to do so, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. I am David, your tenant farmer. And that over there is the youth in the Marcy. And we're cracking along. It looks like we've got another load to go and spread. So on this beautifully crisp spring morning, we're going to do just that. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Do stay safe. Enjoy what you're doing as always. And we will see you in the next one. Catch you later.